Hey guys, welcome to Upside Gifts. We are a 3D printing company based in Bangalore, and this is our first episode in the video series running a 3D printing business in India. In this video, we'll be diving into 3 questions in detail so that you understand about the 3D printing business. The first question is, what is 3D printing? 3D printing is the process of making physical objects layer by layer from a digital design using materials like plastic, resin, or metal. It's like turning a computer model into a real product without traditional molding or machining. For example, this tape roll was probably printed using injection molding, right? So you can see there is a very good clean finish and there are no layers. For another example, for a 3D printed product, this is a phone stand that we designed in 3D printed. If you can notice, there are layers on this, right? So the finish is good, but there are going to be layers. You can notice some layer shifts. So that is the difference between a 3D printed product and an injection molded product. Okay, coming to the next question, whether should you get into 3D printing? So there are 3 reasons why you can get into 3D printing. First one is good demand. There is a really good demand for products in healthcare, custom gifting, robotics, jewelry, as well as toys, right? So you can offer your products across all of these domains with a single printer. Second is affordability. Within under 60,000 to 55,000, you can get a very good decent printer along with a few kgs of filaments. Right? So starting it is like a home desktop. Well, you just need a table to start off with. So the startup cost is very low for the manufacturing part. The third reason is because it's interesting. Isn't it magical to just have a whole manufacturing process at your own place, and you can print any small plastic item or something within your place, and you can make a lot of good content as well out of it, right? Okay, the third question, what should you know before entering into this space, or why this business cannot be for you? First thing is, 3D printing is skill intensive. You need to have a good skill in the machines. So like you need to research a lot about 3D printers first, that which one suits you the best, or what specs you require, what build plate you need, and what type of filaments you want to print. Then you need to also know about your filaments, right? Which company filaments are you going to tie and test from, which type of filaments, what are the print bed temperatures, the nozzle temperature that you're going to use. You need to know all of this. Then you also need to know about the models. Where are you going to source your models from? Are you going to take from free websites, or are you going to look for licensing models? Can you sell all those models, etc.? Also about custom 3D printing, are you going to design models for others? Do you have to learn designing, or you only want to be into manufacturing, taking products online, licensing them, and then getting them 3D printed? Then there is also about, like, we have covered slicer, we have covered printer, we have covered filaments, we have covered models, etc. Right? So you're also about post-processing, etc. There are a lot of stuff. So this is a skill-intensive role. It's not just like you just get a 3D printer and print everything and just make a sale, right? So a little techie you'll have to be. The second one is time intensive. 3D printing is also time intensive. So let's say to print a simple, let's say this phone stand took us about 2 hours. Probably this dummy action figure printing, this took us 3 hours, and then there was post-processing on top of that, right? A lot of 3D prints, you probably have to assemble the parts, you have to post-process using sandpaper, remove the supports. If it's a resin printer, the post-processing is even longer, and there are a lot of chances of failing if you don't do that right. So it is time intensive as well. So doing it with one printer is not a scalable stuff. The third reason is 3D printing is not instant profit. So let's say you got a 3D printer today and we have started printing. Doesn't mean you get paid instantly. It's a very long-term game that you have to play, and not with a single printer at all. If you are planning for a 3D printing business in mind, you have to be open to have more than one 3D printer to break even. Plus, let's say even if you print, let's say a 12-hour print every day, you sit and print, you have to get the payment as well. You have to recover the filament cost, you have to recover the printer cost. You are going to give time to it. So only to make a good profit, you need to have more than one printer. You need electricity, you need some backup UPS. Let's say if power cuts happen at your place, that is a very important topic. Because having a 3D printer is easy, right? Let's say you're printing a 4 hours print, and at after 3 hours of completion power goes off. A lot of printer have the resume capability, but generally it is recommended to have a UPS so that your printers does not fail. If you're giving short prints, it's fine, but let's say if you want to scale more than 2 to 3 printers you want to have, you don't want to waste your filaments, right? So probably you have to invest in a UPS, electricity has to be seen, etc. So there are a lot of things that you have to consider if you're going into this business. You have to have some capital ready to buy next printer. You cannot be like, once I recover the cost of the first printer, only then will I go and purchase the next printer. You have to add machinery. Probably let's say we add machinery once in every 2 weeks. So let's say once in every 2 weeks you either buy 1 printer or 2 printers. That is the scale right now. We have reached about 9 printers up till today. I don't know if it is different when you have 20 printers. You probably need not add printers if you are on a similar scale, because the production is high, right? Even with 9 printers we are doing a lot of production, a lot of orders are going, but still we are thinking of adding a few more printers to our print garden. We have made a separate furniture and racks for it, because keeping it on tables was taking up a lot of space. A lot of things to consider. You learn a lot in this process. You can make a lot of good content in this process. You can make your own designs. Like there is a lot of things to explore. So this is how we conclude the video. So you can comment up any other things that I did not cover and you can suggest it. So the next part we'll be covering the further part of the series. Thank you.